Hey, hello everyone. Thank you so much for your patience. It is right now 11 p.m. my time, probably 5 p.m. EST and PST. How are you feeling today? Friday. So let me know how are you feeling today. This will be an improvised session. I am imperfectly amazing and it's about pouring some French love to you and languages vibes. And so I was thinking for yesterday, which is the 24th, and today, which is the 25th, I'm going first to introduce you to the family. And the family in French, it's really interesting because there are many layers about that, about the family. And I was not prepared, but I'm happy to improvise with you. But first, I'm going to check if I am well live on LinkedIn and YouTube. Let me know in the comments how are you feeling today, how was your week. Happy to invite you to some French vibes and also languages. So I am happy to check that I am live on LinkedIn and audible. So am I live and audible on LinkedIn? Yes, and of course the sound is probably the best sound. Let me check because I wanna give you the best experience as possible. And to have voice, the best voice ever that you can obtain through the mic. And I am now also live on YouTube. So my friends, mes amis, bienvenue, welcome, guten Tag, guten Abend, wherever you are. Thank you so much, including the replay team. Thank you so much, the replay team, for joining me. And 24 will be family, and 25th will be pastry. Yeah, chocolate. Why not? So I am live on YouTube. That's amazing. Thank you, technology. Thank you so much for joining live on replay, and happy to receive any of your questions, your comments, your woo, because it's already Friday, my friends. So I am also to reply to any question. With that, I am going to check because obviously I'm going now to check the different vocabulary. And there are multiple pictures, by the way. I'm going to share my screen. And at some point also, using AI, I can also, of course, study it to you by heart. But at the same time, I'm really happy if technology works. So, technology, do technology work? Yes, I'm sorry, I was a bit like freezing in technology. I am really going to be aware to unload certain things because probably I had too much things on my computer. So thank you so much for your patience. So family in French. And there is multiple ways, by the way. So here is glimpse that. So many like here is the picture, by the way. So you see the family out there. So la famille. So you notice the pronunciation ILLE. It's famille. Probably 90 to 95% of the time, ILLE, it's famille. Like fille, gentil, jonquille, tranquille, famille. And then les enfants. And you notice the link. Enfant, un enfant, les enfants. The S and the E makes the link. S and E or S and vocal in general or S and H. Then le père et la mère. And you can say also papa and maman for a familiar way. And père, mère are parents, les parents. And then there are the grandparents, les grands-parents. And so la famille, les enfants, le père, la mère, les parents, les grands-parents. And then le frère, la sœur, like the brother and the sister. Le grand-père, la grand-mère. Grandfather, grandmother. So I'm going later on to put you the link on the page. Of course, nowadays with AI, you can have it all. I truly believe at the same time that you don't know what you don't know. So, for instance, this is my wife. Je vous présente ma femme. This is my husband. Je vous présente mon mari. These are my kids. Je vous présente mes enfants. This is my daughter, my son. Je vous présente ma fille, mon fils. So, as you notice, there are some words that are pronounced at the end with silence. But here, fils is an exception. F-I-L-S. There is also a word that is F-I-L-S, but it's called in English. And in that case, it's fil. And this is to really distinguish fil, which is thread or cord, is not the same as fils, F-I-L-S. So at some point, there are also words that are applying that. EST could be the conjugate verb. Il est 5 heures. It is 5 p.m., by instance. Could be also the cardinal point, the location, like c'est à l'est, EST, est. So that's just to let you know. So there are many things to say about the family. Papa and mama are familiar ways to say père and mère. Père and mère are parents, so parents. Aside that, there are fils, fille, frère, sœur, enfant. And so at some point also it's like the what is the afternoon, what is the evening. Say good afternoon, good evening, and probably you are saying also hello and good morning. And of course, at 5 p.m., it's better to say good evening than good morning. But sometimes you are saying good afternoon at 5 p.m. Who knows? So it's the same with the different ways to present, like babies, or kids, or children, or adolescents, child. So this is my son, this is my daughter, c'est mon fils, c'est ma fille. Yeah, so very interesting. Then I'm going back to the beginning, by the way, and I will share to you the link of this page so that you can explore at your own leisure. So, le père, la mère, le fils, la fille, le frère, la sœur, le mari. And wife could be la femme or l'épouse. And husband, l'époux, le mari. That's very interesting. Époux, épouse comes from the verb épouser in the wedding, mariage. Mari, femme, is also about the wedding. So, very interesting. Then, there are extended family, grands-parents, which are grand-père and grand-mère. And at some point in Belgium or in France, there are probably multiple ways to say it. I was having une bonne maman, which is literally a good mother, and bon papa, which is literally a good father. Bon, bonne. There are also mamie and papi. Yes, it's from English. And sometimes it's like nanny. So the affectuous way to say grandparents. Grand-père, grand-mère, grand-papa, grand-maman, bonne maman, grand-père, papi, mamie. What are your thoughts? Feel free to comment at any time. I'm sipping a bit of water because I speak quite a lot. So this is to tell about the family. Then grand-père, grand-mère, and then of course l'arrière-grand-père, l'arrière-grand-mère. Of course, sometimes they are alive. Sometimes it's to talk about your great grandfather, like arrière grand-père or arrière grand-mère. But it's like great arrière. And etymologically, it's really amazing and funny because great means big, great, wonderful, you know? It's great, it's wonderful. But arrière means behind, like arrière, grand-père. And then there is also the grandchildren, or the grandson, the granddaughter. Les petits-enfants. Le petit-fils, la petite-fille. And then, of course, there is great grandson, great granddaughter, l'arrière-petit-fils, l'arrière-petite-fille. But of course, it makes you age. But it is what it is, you know. So grandson, granddaughter, le petit-fils, la petite-fille. And then there is uncle and aunt. L'oncle, la tante. Great uncle, le grand-oncle. Great aunt, la grand-tante. La grand-tante. Then nephew, neveu, niece, nièce. And then the cousin who is male, le cousin. The cousin who is female, la cousine. Just to let you know, by the way. So then there is the in-laws and step family. And that's also very interesting because in English you make the separation, the distinction, let's say. But in French, you don't. In French, you don't make the distinction. I'm just going to check if I am live on LinkedIn, on YouTube, if I am well audible, because sometimes I share things and it's not audible. It's sometimes tricky. But with technology, we never know. So I'm just going to check if I am audible. I am audible. Amazing. Let me know how are you feeling. Let me know how was your day, your week. Oh, here, in-laws and step family. That's also very special because in French it's the same, beau, which is beautiful. That's because great grandfather, arrière-grand-père, like fantastic grandfather, and then behind grand-père, behind. But here, in law, according to the law, I think, beau, it's beautiful. Like parent-in-law, father-in-law, mother-in-law, son-in-law, daughter-in-law. half brother, half sister, step sister, step brother. So here, parents-in-law or stepfather is the same, beau-père. Mother-in-law, stepmother, belle-mère. Son-in-law, beau-fils. Daughter-in-law, stepdaughter, belle-fille. So in-law or step is the same. Beau for the masculine and belle for the feminine. Like beau-père, belle-mère, beau-fils, belle-fille. And then half-brother or step-brother, half-sister or step-sister, it's the same, demi, which is in fact half. So half and step is same, demi, demi-frère, demi-sœur. And so advanced French family vocabulary, l'aîné, which is the elder, the eldest child. And then there is the cadet, which is the youngest child. Le fils aîné, le fils cadet. So aîné, elder, cadet, younger. And then there is the Benjamin, which is also the youngest child, by the way. Benjamin. And Benjamin, is also a first name, by the way. So that's really interesting. And then there is the adoption and fostering. Adoptive father, adoptive mother, père adoptif, mère adoptive. It's an adjective, so adoptif, adoptive. And then biological, biologique. Then foster, famille d'accueil. Accueil means to greet, by the way. Accueillir, to greet, accueil, greet. So, la mère de la famille d'accueil, le père de la famille d'accueil. So, very interesting because what is the distinction between adoptive father and foster father? I don't know, really. It's really, for me, it's the same, but let me know. Then there is a godfather, which is le parrain. No, just joking, by the way. So God, like the father of the god, choose by God, parrain, and the godmother, la marraine. Then there is also the godson, le filleul, filleul, and then goddaughter, la filleule. Just interesting, by the way. Aside that, I think it's all. I can also have multiple other things, but I don't want to overwhelm you. I will give you the page and let me know afterwards on live or on the replay team. Whenever you have a question, let me know. I'm really happy to reply to any question. And also let me know what are your thoughts, your comments, and also there is a Linktree link so that you can join my stream if you still can. There is still 20-25 minutes, and then 20-25 minutes I will close this session. And there is also my Google rooms, by the way, and a way to support me, which is also linked in the right pane, coffee.com/olylyrics, to buy me a coffee. It's really appreciated because I'm doing that in a place of love and free. And in a few days, I will present to you my offering, my membership. With that, my friends, I am going now to switch into the pastry because it's really interesting. And for that case, what are the 30, yes, I love to be exhaustive, different pastries name in French and their translation in English, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. Thanks to AI, that is possible to do that, and it saves me much seconds. But at the same time, it's always interesting to see that sometimes AI is failing, and that hopefully that I have a brain to say, oh, by the way, my friends, this is not true. So here I see already my sharing my screen. And so here are the different names. The most interesting one is croissant. So croissant, which is in fact also a noun to say increasing. Plaisir croissant, pleasure increasing. Croissant is also like the moon, you know, croissant de lune. Also le croissant rouge, which is the equivalent of the croix rouge. Croissant rouge in Turkey, I think. So croissant. So here is the same. Maybe, by the way, I think it's really interesting because sometimes it's the same word, sometimes it's not the same word. But maybe the pronunciation might be not the same because I think in English it's croissant, but in French croissant. Maybe in Italian, yeah, in Italian it's cornetto, cornetto, yeah, like cornet, and Spanish croissant, and Portuguese croissant, but maybe not the same pronunciation. The second one is macaron, which is a classic one. Macaro, and then Portuguese macarao. But yeah, in Portuguese the correct term is macaron, probably. Do not confund with macaroni, which is in Italian the spaghetti pasta, or macaron. Then éclair, which is lightning in French. Éclair au chocolat. And probably it was like, I don't know if it was because it was easy to make, like really quick, or because it's easy to eat. Maybe like it's more like easy to eat. That's why it's like lightning. It was fast. So éclair. Italian éclaire. If you pronounce, maybe it's éclair, but if you have to pronounce it in Italian, it will be éclaire. But I'm not sure. Then tarte tatin, which is a pie. So upside down apple tart. Tarte tatin. Tarte tatin, tarte tatin. So that's tarte tatin. Then profiterole. Profiterole. So very interesting. And on, let me know if you like to have the picture aside that. I'm happy to show you the pictures. But you can also make a search. Then millefeuille, which is really interesting because literally it's like 1,000 leaves. But of course, there is not 1,000 leaves in this pastry, but probably so much that they were saying like it's a millefeuille. Millefeuille. And interesting that in English it's Napoleon cake from the Napoleon. Then Italian millefoglie, millefoglie. In Spanish millefogli. Portuguese mille-folhas, if I will pronounce. Then in French, a 7-1 is Madeleine. Ce soir j'attends Madeleine. No, that's a song from Jacques Brel, by the way. From a first name that is also Madeleine, la Madeleine de Proust, by the way. Madeleine. So Madeleine, Madeleine. And I don't know if in Italian you are pronouncing like that or if you are pronouncing like Madeleine. But because all the letters in Italian are pronounced separately. Then le pain au chocolat, choco bread. Le pain au chocolat. That's juicy, by the way. Le pain au chocolat, which is chocolate croissant. That's very funny, by the way, because it is not looking like a croissant. It is looking like a small bread with chocolate. So why don't they say chocolate bread and they say chocolate croissant? Because it is not looking like a croissant, by the way, my friends. Italian, pan di cioccolato. Spanish, pan con chocolate. Portuguese, pão de chocolate, I think. If I don't pronounce it well, I apologize because Spanish and Portuguese are not my native language. Then Paris-Brest, which is two cities, by the way. So I don't know why they came into this combination, Paris-Brest. Maybe because it was like a special Breton, because it's like Britain, Bretagne. Paris in English and Brest, Paris, Brest. And it is two cities like Paris-Brest could be also a travel line. So Paris-Brest, Paris-Brest, same. Then Saint-Honoré. And you notice as I was talking before that, few dozens of minutes ago, when there is a consonant and a vocal or an H, you are making the link. Like you can say Saint-Malo, like S-A-I-N-T dash M-A-L-O, Saint-Malo, which is, by the way, the name of a city in France, in Britain, I think. Then there is Saint-Honoré. So I will accept if you are saying Saint-Honoré, but at the same time, it's using the link because the pronunciation link, when there is a consonant and an H or a vocal, you make the link. So Saint-Honoré, which is Saint-Honoré in French and English, and San Giorgio, George, why they are putting Giorgio, I don't know. Spanish, San Honorio, and Portuguese, Santo Honorio. Very interesting. Then I think I'm going to have a huge session, by the way, because we are already on the 27th and I am only on the 11th. But I'm going to do it at the end. So, probably going through quickly from now. Religieuse, by the way, it's a name of a religious woman. So, religieuse, which is a nun, by the way, non-pastry. Then religiosa, religiosa, religiosa. I think I'm not going to pronounce them from now. Baba au rhum. Baba au rhum. Rom baba. That's very also, sometimes it's alcoholic, sometimes not. Because rum, by the way, it's alcoholic. Rum is a beverage alcoholic. Like the Porto, the Martini, whatever. Then Charlotte. And sometimes they are having strawberries. Charlotte aux fraises. So Charlotte is also a first name. So Charlotte, Charlotte, Charlotte. Opera, opera, it's quite easy. Opera cake. Opera. That's very interesting. Then fraisier, which is a strawberry. Fraisier, in fact, it's the strawberry tree, but it's also the name of the pastry, which is strawberry cream cake. Then chouquette, which is, I don't know, this one. Never heard about that, chouquette. But I think it's going to contain cream chou à la crème, cream chouquette, maybe. Then pain de sucre, like sugar bread, sugar loaf, very sugar loaded. So I wouldn't advise because nowadays there's so much sugar everywhere that eating a bread full of sugar is not really adequate. But pan di zucchero, zucchero, by the way, it's the name of a singer. Like zucchero is the singer in Italy. Pan di azúcar and pain de azúcar, like sucre, pain de sucre. Escargot. I rather prefer pastry. I don't know the name than the true animal because escargot is in fact in English snail. And I hope that this pastry doesn't contain snails because I won't eat that anymore. Aside that, there is so escargot, pain au raisin, like raisin roll, Raisin is a kind of a grape, by the way. Pan di uva. Then Galette des Rois, that's a classic one on early January, I think. And the idea is that it's a kind of a cake which contains a thief. And it's also Galette des Rois King's cake because there is a crown in paper. And whoever has the thief, like we are normally sharing the cake with two, three, five, probably not two, but 5, 6, 10, 12 people. And then the one who has their part that contains the thief is declared a king and has this paper crown and can also elect the queen. Uh, but that's the tradition on the early January. Galette des Rois, king's cake. And really interesting about Italian because it's torta reale, like the real thought. Rosca de Reyes, yeah, bolo rei. So, but in Italian, torta reale, I don't know. Maybe reale means also the king, because yeah, maybe. So clafoutis, clafoutis. Crème brûlée, which is crème brûlée also in English, burnt cream, literally. And it's really interesting because in Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese, crema brûlée. So crema stays. Crema is crème, but they are keeping brûlée, by the way, with the accent. That's really interesting. Then crème caramel, caramel cream, but they are not like a crème caramel in English. Crêpe Suzette, like the pancake. That's there are also that crêpe Suzette. Crème pâtissière, pastry cream. Chou à la crème, keeping the name like cream chou, chou à la crème. Mendiant, and in Italian mendicanti, mendicantes. Palmier, which is palma, palmier. Éclat de sardine. I really don't know this one. Sardine, by the way, is sardinia. It's sardine. It's a fish. And I don't know if it contains a fish. And then phare breton. That's really interesting because F-A-R, I don't know if it's the word in Britain, but phare means far in English. F-A-R. But I was thinking, when I was saying that, I was thinking more like P-H-A-R-E, which is the lighthouse, phare. So phare, breton. So that's very interesting. Well, that, my friends, I'm ending with this list. I was planning this session 1 or 2 hours before, so I don't mind that there is no live people joining. Feel free also to comment or to ask any question. And I'm going to end right now. See you tomorrow for the 26th of April. Hopefully with my announcement, else it will be for next week. And I am opening an amazing membership for you, full of amazing pastry and delicious things to discover about French and languages. With that, my friends, keep shining and enjoy your weekend.